Guys, I watched the live action One Piece season 2. And I think I talked about live action One Piece before on stream. I thought the first season of One Piece was. I would give it like a kind of. Yeah, okay. That was. That was alright. Right? That was actually. That was pretty good. Yeah. I think that the first season of live action One Piece is about as good as you could reasonably hope for out of a live action One Piece adaptation. That was kind of my feeling about it. Having finished season 2, I can now say that I kind of fucking love that show. I genuinely had such a great time with season 2, and I continue to be so impressed by that thing. I'd say I actually enjoyed it like way more than season 1. And I think a lot of it is like we're starting to see like the One Piece wider world. You get like Baroque Works and Smoker and even Dragon, and like it's kind of fucking awesome, honestly. Like there's something about that show. It makes me feel like a kid watching live action shows for the first time and being really into them. And like there's stuff about it that like does feel a little jank. I think there are several characters and they kind of feel like a mediocre cosplay, you know what I mean? But there's something about that I sort of love. Tashigi looks kind of weird in the One Piece live action. Like not the actor. The actor is obviously like a very beautiful person. More on that in a little bit. But like her clothes kind of don't fit right. Her hair looks like a little odd. I can't tell if it's like a weird dye job or a wig or whatever. But it's like, I can't bring myself to care because the actor herself is like fucking great and just like committing so hard to that character to the point that like the awkwardness kind of works. You know what I mean? And like that's, I feel like this across the board thing with that entire show. I feel like every single fucking actor commits to it so hard that like you kind of just can't help getting like swept up in their enthusiasm. Like especially the dude who plays Luffy. I think Luffy should have been like the hardest character ever to cast, right? Because Luffy, like more than any other character in One Piece, that's a fucking Tom and Jerry cartoon character. Like that's what Luffy is, you know. That his most recent Gear 5 or whatever it is like he is a like Fleischer Brothers like rubber hose cartoon character. And how the fuck do you make that like believable in live action? And the answer is you get that little Brazilian dude and he does an amazing job. It's not just that like he's like funny, and he is like, he has really good comic timing, but it's like when he has to deliver an earnest line, he fucking nails it. There's this amazing bit in like the last episode. It's the one where they recruit Chopper, and Chopper is like, he has all these conflicting feelings about being a weird reindeer human hybrid. For those of you not aware, Tony Chopper is not a human who ate the deer fruit. He's a deer that ate the human fruit. Big difference. And he feels conflicted about his weird, fucked up, bastard chimera existence. And there's this bit where Luffy, like, grabs his flag and puts it on the wall, and he stretches his arms out, and Chopper's looking at him, and he's like, what the fuck? And Luffy goes,
yeah, I'm a monster too. Isn't it great?
and like, fuck, guys, like, that hits, you know, that is a genuinely great moment. I do not remember if that's in the original arc or not. It's been like, guys, I was working it out. It's been probably 20 years since I read like this era or watched this era of One Piece, so I'm not the person to tell you like how lore accurate any of this stuff is, but I don't care because I think it fucking works. And like the level that the production is willing to go to preserve like the heart of One Piece. Like, I have seen a lot of like compromised, bastardized versions of anime over the years, And there's always this feeling that they're kind of like ashamed of the source material. Even if the source material is like one of the most successful things in the entire world. Like the second you try and pull it into live action, you start getting all these like really weird compromises. Like a perfect example, Silent Hill 2 movie recently. That is such an amazing example of a film that is like embarrassed by its source material and like uncomfortable with its source material, so it makes all these fucking changes. And then in the One Piece live action, you have a ferret flying a sentient vulture blasting twin Tommy guns at Sanji, and he looks at them and he goes, "What the fuck?" And it's amazing. It's amazing that they did that. It's amazing that they're willing to do that. It's amazing that Coat Hanger Man is in this. It's just wild that this show exists, and it's wild that it's as good as it is. And like the casting just like across the board is so on point. Smoker was fucking amazing. The Witch in the Mountain, played by I always know her as Peggy from Married with Children, but she's also Layla from Futurama. She was incredible. At fucking 70-year-olds, she has like her midriff out and she looks class. Like, fair play to that woman. Katie Siegel, that's it. Yeah, brilliant actor, and she kills it in that role. King Wappo was great as well. Did anyone else think that King Wappo has like hypnotically beautiful eyes in this show? Like, what a pretty man. So yeah, I think that the show also has a habit of hiring the most attractive fucking people alive. Like, Christ almighty, the level of hotness in this show is constant and overwhelming. It is a bisexual nightmare all the way through. And like, then fucking the dude who plays Smoker is so fucking hot. The girl who plays Nico Robin is so fucking hot. I will just zone out watching this show, like, in awe of these characters, and it's like, it's ridiculous. But the fact that, like, they're all, like, good actors, like, there's no weak performances in the show. I know some people, like, don't totally vibe with Zorro. Personally, I enjoy him. I think he's good, but, and I think, like, he is a little bit of a different vibe than Zorro, but I think he's figuring it out and he's getting into it. I don't think he's bad by any means. I think he's just in a show full of stars, but personally I enjoy him. I think he's cool. And yeah, it's just it's awesome. And you know, it's like, I have tried for like a long time to get Michelle into One Piece, but it's so difficult because there's so much of it, and you have to catch someone up on like so much shit. It really means a lot that we have this thing now that we can both just watch, and I can be like, now she kind of gets it. Like, Michelle kind of gets One Piece, and we have a blast watching it together. And it makes me so happy to be able to share One Piece with someone who obviously is so important to me in my life. And I know that this show has done that for more people than me. And I think when you talk about like a live action adaptation, when you talk about like, you know, some new piece of media that's like adopting something you love, that to me is the most valuable thing it can do. Like, let you share it with people that you care about. And I am just so happy that that's the case with this thing. I cannot wait for more. I really can't. Yeah. Anyway.